Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Corey, and today I'd like to discuss with you the justifiability of the murder of Julius Caesar. To start off, criminals have their place in society, which is behind bars. And we've learned how to incriminate people over the course of history by learning about the past and questioning people's actions today and of the past and how we can improve and make a difference in helping rid society of these criminals. Now, in ancient Rome, they also had laws, and these laws were followed and enforced by different people, but different people had the ability to follow and disobey different laws depending on your power, your sex, and your age. Now, what happened to Julius Caesar was very unethical and unmoral in today's society. But back then, it was pretty much okay for what the people did, and they got away with it. So let's get into it. Back in ancient Rome, a death such as Julius Caesar's was not uncommon. It was pretty common for people to kill someone else if they wanted someone in power dead or if they wanted power. So a group of conspirators, mainly started by Cassius could not start the movement himself because he was not authoritative enough. He didn't have that power. So he recruited an individual named Brutus. Now, Brutus had the ability to lead a group of people and organize a team that could commit the crime of murder of Julius Caesar and kill him. Now, are there times where this is justifiable? Organized crime, killing people who need to be killed in a state of power that people might be afraid of? We don't know, but we'll get into it. Now, the conspirators' plan to kill Julius Caesar pretty much came because of Julius Caesar himself. He surrounded himself in government with his enemies, and that pretty much spelled his downfall. Now, Caesar's wife had a nightmare one night, and she told him that I saw you getting killed. Don't go to this meeting today at Pompey's theater with the rest of the government, with the rest of the Senate. Don't do it. But Brutus was able to convince Caesar to go to the Senate meeting and look at the petition that they had for Caesar to overlook. Now, today's society, we know about Adolf Hitler. And Adolf Hitler was pretty similar to the conspirators because he was able to convince a large number of people, a bunch of leaders who were able to lead and motivate others to commit a crime that was pretty horrific. And the killing of the Jewish, Holocaust, that was all pretty bad. And it's pretty similar to what the conspirators' plan was. Now, according to my research, conspirators brutally attacked Julius Caesar at Pompey's theater right at the foot of a statue of Pompey. And that's pretty freaky if you ask me. Imagine being killed in Pompey's theater right at the foot of his statue. That's pretty weird. That's pretty scary. Now, who's to say that the conspirators and other Roman citizens weren't afraid of Julius Caesar? According to some research I found, he was deemed a god, and they wanted to give him a crown, something that they had never done to any of the rulers in Rome. That was really significant, and I don't blame the people for being pretty scared about what he was going to do with Rome. He was a whole new ruler that Europe had never really even seen, and according to some research, it led and created a guide for future leaders to follow. Now, after the murder, the conspirators fled just like Germans did during World War II. Who's to say that this isn't just a move that these type of rulers and leaders and criminals do, you know? Now, let's say the case of O.J. Simpson was similar to Julius Caesar, because I really believe it was. All the people who were watching the case, a lot of them were devastated and called it a travesty, according to some research, that he was found not guilty. He was found not guilty for something that he really obviously looks like he committed. He committed murder, but these people, they could express how they felt, but they could not just gang up and kill OJ. Now, this is something that we've established over time through laws and rules and regulations that if people did gang up and kill him, they would have been put in prison. Now, the conspirators, they got away with killing Julius Caesar. And back then, who's to say that people couldn't have just found the conspirators running off, fleeing in the woods, and killed them? They probably would have been free to go. So, ABC News had a really good article about the Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman case. Now, George Zimmerman claimed the life of Trayvon Martin with a fatal shot to the chest. And he did this because he said Trayvon was reaching for his gun, was fighting him, chasing him to his car, all this sort of stuff. And George Zimmerman, felt like his life was endangered. Now, according to Florida law, the stand your ground law, you are allowed to shoot someone and kill someone if you believe they threaten your life. Now, is that kind of crazy? I think so, because anyone can say, oh, they were threatening my life. Could people in ancient Rome have thought Caesar was threatening their life? God, if he was said to be a god and a crown was put on his head, he could have done some damaging stuff to the Roman citizens, and they probably knew it. So who's to say that they didn't want to stand their ground, and it took some really powerful individuals to gather themselves up and do this? I believe today that a lot of us believe it's okay to take the life of an individual who may harm or have the potential to harm thousands of others. So let's say terrorists, for example. Terrorists who threat possibly all of humanity at some point or another are viewed just like the conspirators viewed Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was viewed probably like a terrorist figure. So, I mean, in today's society, I believe that if it was Julius Caesar today, we would probably have wanted him killed with all the power he had and the threat that he had on ancient Rome and the Roman citizens. So I believe today that the killing of Julius Caesar was justifiable. And my research is right here. Here are my references. Please take a look, and I hope you enjoy my presentation. Thank you.